Yes. Hi.
Hi, Rachel.
It's wonderful to see you, Zinal, after our last meet.
Absolutely. I think what I traveled was to Bangalore. So yeah, it's so good to see you. How have you been?
It's been good. It's been good. The lockdown has actually been good for me. So,
Okay.
yeah. So just before we start off, I met Zinal about say a year ago, less than a year ago, right?
Yeah, less than a
And
year ago. Right.
less than a year ago. And so I just come across this particular notification on Facebook, and I just took a risk and I went there to meet a group of wonderful women who are all joined by one passion, which is traveling. And I've been following their work ever since, and it's just been wonderful. So, great to have the founder of Flapper Life with us today, Zinal. Welcome to the live on travel and mental health. Hello, everyone. Zinal,
Hello.
if you could you start talking a little about Flapper Life and what is the work that you do?
Sure. So hi everyone. I am Zinal. So I'm the founder of the Flapper Life. So Flapper Life is basically a travel platform for women, only women, and the purpose for Flapper Life was very simple, that we wanted women to liberate through the experience of travel. We wanted to empower women through the experience of travel, and that's what we do. So Flapper Life curates travel journeys, domestic, international, both, and we kind of travel with fellow travelers who are complete strangers. When they kind of begin the journey, but when they come back, they are absolutely best of friends, and they have created that bond which kind of goes lifelong. So that's what the Flapper Life is. Flapper Life is based in Bombay, but we curate journeys everywhere. We have flappers also who come to us from across the country and international too.
Mhm. So that's so one of the reasons we actually decided to put this as a session as well. So we have been running a series of talks, a series of live sessions on the page about various methods to deal with stress, various methods to deal with anxiety, and I think each of the sessions that we have been having on whether it's mindfulness or confidence building, or we did a session on mandala art. So this is just one other strategy that can actually help with as a stress buster, but there is a lot more to travel as well. And I really wanted to do this session, especially since I have logged a lot of personal growth when it came to traveling as well. And I would like to start off with asking you, Zinal, if you can just begin with maybe your own personal story as well, some of the experiences that you have personally had when it comes to traveling, and what was the you had?
Okay, so I would just want to, before I kind of share my story, I want to tell people that, of course, for mental health, for your mental well-being, I think travel is one of the most crucial way of kind of de-stressing. Of course, there are many other ways, and many a times a lot of people can't travel, but just about even planning your travel can de-stress you, right? So I will give you a little short story about myself, that a year and a half back I lost my dad, and that was kind of very, very taxing for me, because obviously losing a loved one is going to have that pile of emotions which you kind of go through, and you get very irritated with small things, and you really don't know, you just kind of start feeling that everything is kind of going wrong. And so because I run Flam Life, so I had a trip coming up which was Ladakh, and I thought that okay, this trip I have to host it. And the only pure reason why I went to Ladakh, of course, one was work, but I had a personal agenda, was to heal myself, because I really wanted to get out of that situation and start healing, because while time does its own healing, but I believe that the nature has more power to heal you faster. So everything about nature, right from mountains, rivers, the blue sky, everything heals you. and you are just completely into a situation where I personally feel that these humming like large mountains, they also talk to you and they tell you that don't worry, everything is kind of going to be fine. So that was the agenda, and it helped. It helped me heal, and when I came back, I was absolutely feeling lighter emotionally. So I think that's what travel does to you. And when you go through these experiences with locals, you interact with people. When you listen to their story, you just start feeling that, yeah, I think it automatically gives you that healing impact. So that is a small story of mine personally, and I completely vouch that travel. I obviously I can't say that it definitely heals completely, but of course it is one of the most crucial points where it can de-stress you.
That's true. In fact, I think when it comes to dealing with our own concerns or our stressors or even problem solving, right, that requires a lot of open-mindedness as well as some kind of a distance from the problem itself in order to gain a better perspective. And one
Right,
way in which it has actually helped me is I've always considered myself as a planner. And I would like to know my plan well ahead. And I kind of panic if I do not have a plan when it comes to even travel. But
right,
but traveling spontaneously has actually helped me push what I thought was a limitation, right? Push that boundary of my limitation. And experience uncertainty, and when I got to the other side, know that I was actually okay with the uncertainty. So we have been discussing a lot of things on the line, like resilience, for example, or dealing with uncertainties. And this is all which individuals who experience a lot of anxiety also go through. We are afraid of the unfamiliar, or we are afraid of not knowing what's on the other side. And
right,
travel, one side, draws us to the destination, we're drawn to a culture, we're drawn to new experiences. At the same time, we are also going through that unfamiliar situation,
right,
enjoying
right.
and learning that we're okay with it. So
Rachel,
I
I
have
can't
actually,
hear you.
you're not able to
Uh,
hear me.
yeah, it's like it's breaking in between. So maybe if you want to just come a little closer.
Is it better now?
Yeah, it's much better.
Enough. All right. So I do not know how much that was missed, but it actually helped me personally be okay with not having a plan. And
Right,
right, I've seen that during the lockdown, when there are a lot of uncertainties, that I can see people panicking when they do not have a plan, and I can see people panicking when there are no answers. And when
right,
we do not know what we are going to, even with the best of plans, there are uncertainties, right? Experiencing that is just very it's a lot of growth in the process where you just a lot of self-awareness, there's a lot of learning, which I
right.
think is the way when it comes to travel. Zinal, if you could add something on just the aspect of confidence, of how a traveler can gain confidence in the process of their traveling experiences. Maybe you have a
Sure.
story to share.
Absolutely. And because we travel with a lot of women, we have a lot of stories to tell you. I want to give you this very specific story. I will not tell you exactly what had happened, but this clapper who was traveling with us, she was going through a personal relationship breakdown, and it was terrible at her end. And I kind of had got a call from one of my friends that my friend is under tremendous stress. I want her to travel. So I reached out to her and I told her that, hey, why don't you come and travel with us? And these are the plans for the year. But she very reluctantly took it, and because she was not like a great shape, and she took the trip, and I remember this very, like, on the third day of the trip. she had kind of messaged me that, how better she's feeling, into the mountains, and she's already feeling better with the overall experience. See, to be very honest, I believe that when you're traveling, many a times in our life, we always feel that, why me? Why is it happening with me? And when you start traveling with fellow travelers and you listen to their stories, you feel that, okay, my pain is there. It's of course big, but yeah, others are also suffering. Probably my pain is lesser than them. You know,
Mm.
the moment you realize this, you automatically start healing. So, which happens with, whenever you travel with a lot of women around and you have fellow travelers, of course, there is a lot of share on stories, their personal life, the feelings. And many a times it happens that, oh, even I felt same, or probably even I have gone through this. That is a line when you start healing yourself. So I always believe that, women just empower each other, and travel is of course like an icing on the cake. So it definitely heals a person, and when this person came back, she was absolutely fine, and she had never taken a trip alone. I think she's already taken 5 trips, 5 solo trips. So you can already imagine the kind of confidence she's built in, that she is now kind of ready to take the world and absolutely fine and happy with her own self.
That's true. Yes. So, like even the process of, I think when it comes to depression, we have been working with anxiety and depression on our lives as well. And often with clients, I find that if they have a goal or something to look forward to, that process
Right,
of looking forward to something itself is healing, and it alleviates the distress itself. So even right now during the lockdown, I think a lot of travelers are like, "Oh no, we are stuck here. We can't go. Our travel plans have changed. What if we never
right,
get out of all of this?" So even then, I would say the aspect of planning something together. Let's say you get a group together, or even if you're planning a solo trip, just going to a couple of websites, searching for something, setting your budget, setting your plan. That looking forward experience
right,
is a huge factor in making one feel better about themselves, and in bettering their emotional health, because you have a goal. And one of the signs of depression is a sense of loss of hope, right? So having a
right.
goal really works that around there. Um,
Absolutely.
what would you say, like, I think it also builds a lot of, in addition to resilience, I think when you have from the problem, you see yourself as a different person altogether in a different environment. When you're
Right,
very close to the problem, you really, I think, grade yourself with respect to that problem. So it just becomes the stressor and you, current work environment and you, or the familiar and you. So you have this
right,
whole identity set in your head about who you are, and you really don't know, like there could be a different person altogether existing there. But when you travel,
absolutely.
the bound of you're meeting new people, and when you interact with people who are not from your familiar environment, it reflects very different characteristics about you, right? Whether, even if it's anxiety about getting to know about people, I've had to work with this guy to actually overcome her social anxiety by pushing herself to have one solo trip every 6 months, and she overcame
Right,
her social anxiety, and that was for like 3 or 4 months just to put herself up to the trip. That was the extent of social anxiety she was going through. But after
right,
forcing herself to go for these kind of experience, she actually had a huge turnaround at the end of it. What
right.
about in terms of self-esteem? What would you say, Zinal? Like, does it make a person? Do you think traveling boosts a person's confidence or their self-esteem? How do you think that works?
So to be very honest, I just want to add to the point that the process of planning the trip, I think
Yes.
it's more fun than actually the trip. because that, as what you just said, that it is kind of to look forward to. And, I would say that not only travel, the whole process also builds up your confidence because you are constantly pushing yourself way forward. You are constantly telling yourself that, hey, because I need to reach there, I need to do these many things. So when it kind of comes to travel, of course, it not only boosts your confidence, it gives you a new perspective on your own self. It's more like a journey of self awareness that, oh, I can do this as well, or I could probably I can be a little more patient as well. So it is absolutely a journey of self-awareness, and the more you're self-aware about yourself, the more you're confident about yourself because you know your flaws, you know your strengths, and you kind of work towards it constantly. So I'll give you this very interesting story that how different a person's life literally changed. So we got a housewife who had joined us. She used to work earlier, but after pregnancy and after starting family, she kind of took a break from work. And once her kids had kind of grown up, she took a trip with us, and that was her first ever trip without family. All right. And she traveled and she thoroughly enjoyed while she had come with a friend. It was not an absolute solo, but yeah, she did come with a friend. It's been 1.5 years that she traveled with us. She has taken up a job. She is working, back to working again. And the reason behind why she's working, because she was like, I want to be independent when I'm funding the trip. So I'm working only purely for the reason to travel, and it has kind of given her that confidence back that she can do this. And the kind of work also what she's doing is amazing. So that one trip has literally changed her life. That from being a homemaker, she because she wanted to live her travel dreams or live her uh, you know I would say the me time, which every woman or anybody, I think even men need that me time. She just wanted to be independent for that, and she has started working and managing home as well. So I feel this is a brilliant example of building confidence through travel.
True. Uh, Zinal, a very interesting question to you. I think since you've organized a lot of trips and you've traveled with a lot of women as well,
Right.
one of the questions that came up is, what if we do want to travel and that's something that we really want to do, but we just don't know when because we are not able to get a break from work. We do not know if we are able to leave our responsibilities. We're full-time homemakers. We're full-time, we are employed. We have our own staff. We are entrepreneurs. We just can't pick up and leave. What about the amount, the funds that is involved in planning this whole thing? So, what if we still want to do it, but all of these factors hold us back? What would you recommend along those lines?
So to be very honest, I just tell all. So this has like kind of come up to me many times that how does one kind of travel? I would say that you have to mandate it for yourself. So many a times we plan a lot of things, right? Like most of the people in their family, whenever you're looking at the personal side, you always say that, hey, we have to do this trip in a year, or probably we have to do this, probably fix our house or fix our business, or we do a lot of planning professionally also. I think everybody has to mandate that self time. It could be 1 day, 2 day, 4 day trip, but please mandate that you have to take this time off for yourself from your own time.
Mm.
So that is very very important, and I think as what we just spoke earlier also, that the process of planning is also very very exciting, and it's something to look forward to, because if you have kind of pre-booked, you're definitely going to make it. So it is, as I said, it's just about forcing things on yourself and pushing yourself. So I'll give you an example. I have these regular travelers who kind of travel every year with Flapper Life twice a year. Okay, they pre-book their tickets like 6 months in advance, so they know that they have to go now that the tickets are booked. So I think booking that ticket is like a you know push to yourself. And I think more than that also, you have to mandate it that I have to take this time off, come what may. Family time is of course important. Family trips are very, very important, but your self-care trip is also very important.
I think one interesting thing which you brought up when we all met together a couple of months back was that even if there is going to be, let's say you're traveling with a group of friends, and there is always these one or two people who would say, I can't make it, or let's do it later, let's push it for another month. But one of the things that came up in the session with you was that just go ahead and do the trip, right? So if they see that you're going to go ahead and execute the plan, eventually they would understand that it's not going to stop because one or two people are backing out, right? There could
Right.
even be people dropping out and you're the only one left, but you do take that trip still. You go ahead with it and not stop your plan in that process. So that was
So
like a
just to
very
add here, that's why a company like Flap Life definitely comes in and helps you to do that. So to kind of live your travel dreams, because many a times and most of the times as we are growing, not all the times your friends or your family will be able to travel with you the time you want, or the break what you have got. So why kind of delay it in life? You might as well take that trip and take that time. And one more thing I would want to add here is that strangers are literally the friends in making. So you have to just kind of go out, you know, just let yourself be and kind of balance it out in the situation. Things will automatically fall in place for you, and you will never regret that decision.
do you think, Zinal, I know this is like an all women traveling platform and that's great, and I love that idea of it. What do you think? Controversial, but do you think traveling with women, all women group, is a lot easier than a mixed group?
Um, to be very honest, I don't know how the other side looks, but what I'll just tell you what has the experience been with women traveling. So we have done like around 100 trips, and to be very honest, to date, we've never had a single cat fight, like what people generally say, a single cat fight on the trip. Now, I'll tell you the reason behind this, that when you're traveling with strangers, I think the first most important piece which comes out is that you're traveling without any judgments. Nobody knows each other, nobody can judge you. That is the first piece. Second is that the power of women coming together has it is like something very, very positive, because they just kind of empower each other in a way by doing small small things, that if there is an adventurer in the group, she's the one who will just push everyone and would just say that, hey, let's do it together. So I would say that it is very, very empowering when you're traveling with women. And I think you also kind of meet a very new self of yours, where uh, you meet the calmer person of yourself, so which is always not the case in our regular life. And as compared to the mixed groups, I wouldn't know much, but I'm sure it is a great experience, to be very honest. But traveling with, I think I can say that traveling with strangers is definitely a wonderful experience.
And it's, in a lot of ways, I think it also offers validation, right? When you travel with people who might be similar to you, or we're looking for validation, I think, with everyday experiences. So to
Right.
know that you're an interesting person, you're able to get along with people who are completely new to you, and you're rooming together, and you're adapting and you're adjusting. So when you come back, you also have all these takeaways from travel where you realize that you were able to sleep on the floor of a tent as well as you were able to enjoy your spa, or else you were able to enjoy a nice cool walk on the mountains. But this is also liberating. So in that line, Zinal, is there any benefit you feel of solo travel versus group travel, or you feel that they are the same?
Sorry, you'll have to repeat solo traveler and group traveler.
Do you feel like any one or the other is better, or are they the same when it comes to the kind of benefits that you would get?
I think it's the same. So to be very honest, the when you're traveling, you're not only taking the road journey, you're taking the journey within yourself. So obviously, there is a difference, of course, in solo and group travel. So solo traveler is, of course, is going to be something where you get immense confidence because you are absolutely on your own. You're talking to literally strangers on the road. But of course, we all know that it also has safety issues, pros and cons. But when you're traveling in a group, one, your safety is taken care of, so you're absolutely relaxed. Second, uh, you know that there is somebody with you throughout the journey. So if at all something goes wrong, uh, uh, you're going to be kind of taken care of. But the whole of journey is just going to be on yourself. So I think that's what we kind of focus on also, that we just let you be. So if you are the person who's absolutely an adventurer, we let you be. And if you are a person who just wants to be yourself, we let you be. So I think that's the difference. If I have to just tell this to somebody who has never taken a travel experience for kind of de-stressing or something, take whatever you feel you're going to be confident at or something what you're going to be managing at, because both the experiences are going to be equally liberating, equally empowering, and it will both will add a new perspective into your life.
Okay. So, Zinal, one of the other questions that we got is being one of the restrictions that women face is kind of pressures from their home about allowing women to travel, right? Especially to countries abroad, or to different places, or traveling with the unknown, with an unknown group per se, right? I think there's a lot of restrictions when it even comes to going on a with friends, and then comes the
Right.
part about traveling with people who you do not know. So, given these restrictions, is there something that people could still do within these limitations?
So to be very honest, that I just want to ask you. So you mean to say with travel, or you mean to say that this is going to be without travel or something outside travel?
This is with respect to travel, right? We face a lot of women face these restrictions from home, a lot of apprehensions that we're sending a woman out there, you're not yet independent, you're traveling with people who you do not know. Uh, so, what would you generally say? Have you experienced something like that amongst travelers who have joined you on trips where they have come from having a lot of restrictions at home, a lot of apprehension, maybe multiple phone calls in the first couple of days?
So I would say that, of course, most of the women face this. Especially I would say husbands. The parents are a little more easy convincing, but we've kind of seen, and we talk to husbands, we talk to fathers, we talk to mothers, and we of course give that comfort. Of course, our experience, what we have kind of done trips also. So that is a comfort what we kind of give them and tell them that it's all going to be fine. But yeah, women definitely face these issues, and I would say more from husbands, because we've literally spoken to husbands and convinced them that don't worry, your wife is kind of going to be okay. And but yeah, the way we comfort it is also by giving all contacts and keeping all the things transparent. So if at all there is a issue also, say taking a trip ahead, we know that we are going to give them a reality check. So yeah, uh, it definitely has. But I would say that it's improving. Things are changing. There are husbands who have booked trips also for their wives as a gift. So yeah, times are changing for sure.
Okay. So, Zinal, just one more question here. Do you find that when people do travel as well, there are people who bring their worries or their stresses into the trip? And has that been present, and how do they deal with it? Do fellow travelers actually help each other out, or is it just or do you feel like just the experience of being away, right? That they also tend to leave their troubles behind. Do you find either of these?
So there are a lot of people, especially workaholics, who get work to the trip, and there are people who kind of come and just completely switch off. So we have kind of faced both ways. So there are people who would come with work, who would want to just be at work, and they would give us a heads up that hey, I have a lot of work and I'm going to be needing internet and I need this, I need my time. But to be very honest, once they have been there, they I don't remember anybody working, because they are now completely into the zone of traveling. So yeah, you get both ways, but I think they learn to switch off as well, because I think that's what happens when you are absolutely not into your comfort zone. Because once you are in your comfort zone, you're just kind of repeatedly going to do what you have been doing. But the moment it's change of place, your thought process also changes with it. Uh, there are people who come with a worry, but they go, I would say, finding that problem with a new perspective. So they start thinking in a different manner, and they would be like, okay, this is something, probably a new way for me to try tackling the problem. So yeah, we've seen it both ways.
Okay. So definitely, a fresh perspective is something that travel can also bring. And one of the interesting things you mentioned also is that in a new place, we are also somewhere forced to switch off. And that switching off from your problem, right, is something that we also need to bring back into everyday life, where there could be stressors
Absolutely.
at work, and then you have your personal life as well. But learning how to switch off and just focus on the current environment and focus where you
Right.
are at present can definitely have a huge impact and influence on your positivity, on your positive outlook, and not feel like everything about your life is trouble, but you're able to switch off and enjoy the moment and enjoy the
So,
process.
right. So just to add here, whether in current times or when you are traveling, both ways, I think it's all about taking one day at a time. So don't kind of rush on to things. Don't kind of, so obviously in current times, we all are facing a lot of uncertainty. I think just taking one day at a time is kind of more settling in your mind and kind of calming you that okay, fine, let's just take it as it is, as what it is today.
Yes. And I think on that note, Zinal, you have addressed a part of my next question before we conclude, which is during the lockdown, right? People are facing a lot of these uncertainties, especially with respect to travel and those who are frequent travelers. I think my friends and I have also experienced or gone through a lot of this frustration because we have had trips that we have had planned, etc. What would you say to them about do you find that generally the traveler's mindset is a lot more positive right now, or what have you seen, and what would be like a good takeaway in terms of travel and keeping up a positive mental mindset during this period of uncertainty?
So I'll firstly give you a perspective on tourist and a traveler. So obviously we all know what a tourist means and a traveler means. uh, you know this entire pandemic has kind of given us a chance to look at travel in a different manner. It's no longer going to be just about going to a place and just about kind of doing a tick mark to your bucket list. I think when now people will travel, people are going to be more about going, learning, unlearning, and relearning. So I think that is the whole process of travelers. So you will see a shift from tourists to travelers. Now, coming to your question that how a travel is kind of doing in pandemic, of course, people are frustrated, but a real traveler who really wants to go and experience a place is kind of in a positive state also that, okay, I have something better to look forward to. Just imagine that when you will go back to all the places, to all the mountains, they are going to be at its true beauty. The nature is going to be beautiful. It's not going to be like the way we have seen it. So, of course, there is a positive impact, undoubtedly. But yeah, I would just tell all of them, hang in there. I think it's not the right time to travel. Just be a little more patient, and I think the better times are coming.
It's beautifully said. We have one question here. I think I'll address this and then maybe we can wind up. So the question says, how do you help women who start mood changes due to mental issues on travel? Right. So I think
Okay.
just almost ended the live accidentally. All right. So when it comes to just because you have a mental health concern, one doesn't mean that the person is any different from another when they are traveling, right? We are all one and equal while traveling, and all that the person might need is maybe someone to just listen to them and not probably judge them the way they have been all their lives back at home when they are
Right.
experiencing a mood swing or when they are showing some kind of irritability. All that they're used to is a person responding to them in a certain way. And the idea of taking a break or being out here in a different environment, you need to be that person that you don't have to give them advice. I think giving advice is, I personally feel, is the worst thing that you can do to a person, especially when
Right.
they are at a particular state of mind. They might have already tried all the strategies that you are just advising them about. But the best thing that you can do is listen to them, right? Listen to them non-judgmentally. And I would say that to be true of a woman anywhere or a person anywhere, right? Not just on a travel expedition. At the same time, if what they need is a little space or a little time alone, and I think one thing which you mentioned, Zinal, is also on your trip, there are some people who would like to be left alone, and there are some
Absolutely.
people who want to go on an adventure by themselves. Some people are more of group people, and it's okay for them if they need that space, give them that space. If they just
Right.
want to talk, listen to them, right?
Right.
I've had like when I've traveled with a couple of my friends or even like on trips where I do not know people. I think this one incident comes to mind when I just went backpacking, and when I say backpacking, it's not to a place abroad. I went to Hyderabad. So
Right.
during the time, I used to have a co-hosteler who was going through a very tough time, and she was just sitting there in the uh, in the common area, and she was looking really sad, and she was on the phone and crying. And at that time, it's okay. It's not that they're doing it to ruin the trip, or it's not that they are
Right.
doing it on purpose, right? It's for us to understand that is their space, that is their
Absolutely.
emotion. You don't have to judge it. You just have to respect that is theirs to experience and just be there to listen to them non-judgmentally. That's the best thing that we can
Right.
do is to be there for one another. And I think travel brings out a beautiful example of that, where we support one another. And even in the case of a
Right.
solo traveler, we find there's nothing truly solo about it other than the fact that you're not traveling with people who you know, right? When you go
Right.
there, you're still dependent on the people who take care of the place that you stay, who arrange your travel. You're still dependent. And there's a
Right.
sense of symbiosis involved there, which is very supportive in that. Is there anything else you would like to add to that, Jeevan?
I think I just want to tell people that, of course, the mental well-being is as equally important as your physical well-being, which a lot of people don't understand. That they feel that okay, maybe you're just kind of being cranky, or you just have like a mood swing. But of course, there is a reason behind it. You need to be mentally fit as equal to physical fitness. But travel is one place, or travel is one journey which you will definitely not regret taking. You're definitely going to be learning a lot new things about yourself. You're going to be more flexible, you're going to be more adaptable, you're going to be more patient, you're going to be more confident. I don't think any experience can give you so much which a travel can give you. And travel is more about practical experiences. It's not only about theory that which you just kind of read, you learn, and it is a real thing which is happening to you. And I don't think any experience is bad when it's kind of real. You learn a lot, right? So definitely people should take, especially post this pandemic, people will definitely will travel and should travel, because I think we all need and we all deserve to. So yeah, everyone take care of yourself, and I think you should start planning for the trips. And of course, do not travel right now, but definitely you can start planning so that you have something to look forward to.
That was beautifully summarized, Zinal. Thank you so much for joining us here on the live today to discuss along the lines of travel and mental health, sharing your experiences and wonderful, inspiring stories from women that you have traveled with. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rachel. It was great having a chat with you.
Thank you.
Bye.